Welcome back. After 2 very busy weeks, really looking forward to being on the yoga mat and kind of forgetting about the world outside. I often think of the yoga mat, my yoga space, as a little oasis from the craziness that goes on outside these walls. I don't know if this is true or not, but there's a message from Buddha that one day a student asked Buddha, "What do you gain from meditation?" And Buddha said, "Nothing, but I lose anxiety, worry, fear, and stress." So think of yoga as a mindful, deliberate, moving meditation, really slow, focusing on bringing your mind back to your body, to your breath, and what's going on your yoga mat, in your yoga space, wherever that happens to be. So let's get started. Sitting comfortably, you can go ahead and place a little support under your hips. That'll help you sit a little taller, minimizing the effort to maintain proper alignment of the spine, where your shoulders are over top of your hips. And your hips are higher than your knees. Hands resting on your thighs. And go ahead and close your eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, bring your gaze downward and really bring your focus, your awareness to your breath. All of your effort right now is with the breath and keeping your mind with the sensations in your body. Notice how you're feeling. Now, if you're having difficulty bringing your attention to the sensations in your body, if there's a lot of chatter going on in the mind, we call that the monkey mind, and you need to rein it in a little bit. Give yourself time. Give yourself a few breaths. And as you deliberately slow down your breath, so too does the chatter, the monkey mind, also begins to slow down. And that's when you begin to soften, to relax. You feel yourself becoming, once again, reconnecting to the true you. All that's required of you on your yoga mat is to be. Be in your body, be with your breath, clear the mind. With your next breath in, sweep your arms up. Bring your hands together overhead. And as you exhale, let your hands float down, palm pressing to palm. Pausing in front of heart center just for a half a second until the next breath begins, and sweep the arms up once again. Hands coming together overhead. Exhaling, hands floating down. Let's do that for 2 more breaths. Just moving with your own breath. Pausing where it feels good to pause. Let your breath lead your movement. Feels so good to breathe. And pausing with hands in front of heart center, just resting here for a full, complete breath. As you exhale, just relax the shoulders. Feel the heaviness of your arms, and yet your hands are still floating right in front of heart center. Release your hands. Open your eyes and stretch your legs out in front. If you're sitting on a support, you can come off the support or you can stay on it. It doesn't matter. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see. So legs straight out in front. Sitting tall once again. Now inhale, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, hinge forward. Bring your hands to your knees, your shins, wherever they happen to fall. And pause right here. So use the full length of your arms, support of your hands on your shins. Spread your toes and anchor the weight at the backs of your heels. Try not to let your toes roll out or roll in. Keep the toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Now take a breath. And as you exhale, just gently bend at the elbows. Stay long through the spine. Bending at the elbows, hinging at the hips just slightly until you feel the stretch into the lower back. Just leaning in slightly, staying long, trying not to round through the shoulders. And then press up. Inhale, sweep the arms up with your breath in. As you exhale, right hand comes to the mat beside your hip. Left hand comes to your outer right thigh, and just a gentle twist as you turn and look to the right, to the corner. Just a very subtle twist through the ribcage and shoulders. Keep the shoulders heavy. Notice if you're holding your breath. If you are, take a breath. Breathe all the way into the belly. Exhale, release, coming back to center. Inhale, arms sweep up, getting ready to twist to the left this time. Left hand comes to the mat beside your hip. Right hand comes to the outside of your left thigh. And just a gentle turn as you look to the corner at the left. Reconnect to the breath in the belly. Just feels so good to breathe and not have to worry about anything else. This is the primary focus in this moment. Your body, your breath. As you exhale, release, coming back to center. All right, spread your toes, just re-engage through the legs. Reconnect to the weight at the backs of your heels, toes pointing up to the ceiling. Inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, hinge forward far enough you can bring your hands to your knees, your shins, wherever they happen to land. Now lift the crown of the head up. Feel the lift and length from your hips to the crown of your head. So you're really extending and lengthening through the spine. Look at a focal point in front of you. Now keep your gaze there. And as you exhale, bend at the elbows once again. Feel for the stretch in the lower back, keeping the spine long. Now roll your shoulder blades, roll your shoulders up towards your ears and then back, and think of sliding your shoulder blades down towards your hips. So you can feel your sternum now popping forward just slightly. Keep that. Now keep the shoulder blades pulling back. And slowly drop your chin towards your chest without changing anything in your shoulders. So keeping the spine long now from the tailbone just to the base of the neck between the shoulders. Just slowly, going carefully, really focusing on keeping the shoulders exactly as they are. Thinking only of dropping the chin towards the chest. Chin doesn't need to touch the chest, doesn't need to connect there. I just want you to feel the stretch reaching from the base of your skull down between your shoulders. And then just as slowly lift your chin away from your chest until you feel like your ears are in line with your shoulders and your eyes are back on the focal point that was right in front of you that you were looking at just a few moments ago. And then press up. There we go. All right. Let's come to standing. However you want to get there. Oh, Do you hear all those cracks? That was my knees. Okay, so standing tall, feet hip distance apart. Lift your toes, spread them wide. Feel for the four corners of your feet, the ball of the big toe, the inner heel, the ball of the baby toe, and the outer heel. So feel the connection there, and then relax the toes. Just let your toes land softly on the mat. Equal weight on both feet. Legs strong. Feel like your hips are over top of your ankles, shoulders over top of your hips, ears over top of your shoulders. With your next breath in, pull your shoulders up towards your ears, roll them back, feel your shoulder blades slide in towards your spine, and then slide the shoulder blades down towards the hips. Now as the shoulder blades drop down, you can feel the belly and the rib cage popping forward. So pull in just slightly to minimize the curve in the lower back. Just enough. Feeling the rib cage pull in, feeling the rib cage knit together. Pause right here. Now let's do some arm sweeps. So inhale, sweep forward. And as you exhale, sweep out. Now inhale, sweep out and up. And as you exhale, forward and down. Let's do that again. This time, pay particular attention to the rib cage and the belly, keeping the strength through the core, keeping the alignment of the shoulders and the spine, at the same time using the breath. Inhaling, sweeping up. Feel the belly and the rib cage pulling in. Exhale, sweeping out and down. But there's enough room through the core for your breath. Inhale, sweeping out and up. And exhaling, forward and down. Let's do that one more time. Keeping your focus right at your center. Inhaling, sweeping forward and up. Exhaling, out and down. Inhaling, out and up. Exhaling, forward and down. Oh, I exhaled forward and down there. I can feel my shoulder blades separating, pulling away from my spine. So pull the shoulder blades back. And hands float down. Pausing right here. Remember, the purpose of today's practice is to slow down, to breathe. Moving mindful meditation. Taking our time. Really checking in with body, breath, and monkey mind. Inhaling, sweeping up. Exhaling, bend your knees, bow forward. Bring your fingertips to the mat. If your fingers reach. If you have a block, you can go ahead and reach for the block. Use the full length of your arms, full length of your fingertips, the full reach here. Now just lift your eyes, look forward. Feel your belly and rib cage resting on your thighs. Yes, your knees need to be that soft. Now think of creating a little bit of curve in the lower back. So tilting the tailbone upwards, but without causing any strain or intensity in the back of the legs here. So just gently, you're going to feel it. You might not see it, but you'll feel it. Lifting the tailbone upwards, just a tiny little bit. Keep your eyes at the top edge of your mat so you're long through the spine. There's no rounding through the shoulders. You can still feel the shoulder blades sliding in towards the spine, just ever so slightly. Take a couple of breaths here. Really feel the movement of your breath as your belly and rib cage press into your thighs. Shift your weight into your feet. So take your weight out of your fingertips, out of your hands, and inhale, sweep up. Sweep out and up. And then as you exhale, sweeping forward and down. Sweeping forward and up with your breath in. Breath out, sweeping out and down. Coming down once again. Bend your knees on the way down. Take the stress out of the lower back. Fingertips to the mat. Eyes at the top edge of your mat. Use the full length of your arms, full reach of your fingers. Use a block if you need to. Now inhale. As you exhale, push into the mat and think of lifting the hips just ever so slightly up towards the ceiling until you feel the beginnings of some intensity in the back of the legs. Nothing more than that, just the beginnings. A gentle stretch here. Feel the movement of your belly and your rib cage against your thighs. Now shift your weight out of your hands into your feet. Soften. Feel the hips drop just slightly. Now here we go. Sweeping out and up with the breath in. Hands overhead. And then exhaling, sweeping forward and down. Roll the shoulders back. Draw the belly and the rib cage in. Standing in mountain pose. Pausing right here. Bring your hands to your hips. Step your right foot back. So push all the way back onto your right heel. So both legs long. Push into the mat with the left heel, so the left knee lengthens. So both legs long, a little softness behind the knees to keep the knee joints safe. So with your hands on your hips, just pull your shoulders up towards your ears, roll them back, slide them down. Feel the rib cage and belly pop forward, so pull them in. Now actively push into the mat with your right heel. Really lengthen through the back of the right leg. Minimize the bend in the right knee. Thumbs resting on the back of your hips. We're going to use that little leverage spot. Now lift your eyes, look up to the corner. Feel the rib cage and belly opening up a little bit more, but still some strength there. So don't completely let the rib cage pop forward. We need some stability, we need some strength there. Now hug the elbows in towards each other. Soften your jaw, really relax your tongue. Take the strain out of your throat, out of your neck. Place where I've been holding a lot of tension lately. Oh, yeah. Let's release that. Take a big breath in through the nose. And as you relax the jaw, relax the tongue, exhale out through the mouth. Do that again 2 more times. And 1 more. Now drop your gaze so you're looking straight ahead. Feel the spine realigning. Crown of the head reaching up. Relax the shoulders. Take a breath. Keep your focus with your spine as you hinge forward. Push down with your right heel. Kind of push the upper body forward, hinging at the hip, bringing your eyes to the top edge of your mat or perhaps slightly in front of your mat. But the goal here is staying long through the spine, belly and ribcage pulling in to support the upper body, to support the shoulders. Feeling this intensity in the left leg now as your weight comes forward. Keep the right heel pushing down and connected to the mat. Breathe. Now pull up. Pull up, stacking shoulders over top of hips. Look down at your left foot. Slowly bend your left knee pointing in the same direction as your left toes, towards the top of the mat. Keep that. Here we are again. Thumbs on the back of the hips. Bring your gaze upwards now. Feel the shoulder blades pulling in towards the spine. Relax through the jaw, relax through the throat. Now pulling the shoulders a little farther behind the hips until you feel a subtle stretch into the front of the right hip. Just very subtle. You feel the work in the right foot, right calf now as your weight shifts backwards. Focus on your breath, and you will find ease within the pose. Bring your gaze straight ahead, stacking shoulders over top of hips once again, and step your right foot forward. Release your arms. All right, a little movement connected to breath now. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. As you exhale, sweep the arms out and down, bend the knees. Just let your hands cross, sweep the floor. Inhale, sweeping out and up. Exhale, sweeping forward and down. Let's do that again. Inhale, sweeping forward and up. Exhaling, sweeping out and down, bending the knees. Letting your hands just cross in front as you sweep the floor, maybe. Inhale, sweeping up. And exhale, sweeping forward and down. Hands on your hips. Left foot steps back. Stepping back onto your left foot. Both legs equally long. Minimize the bend in both knees. Put your hands on your hips. You can feel your thumbs on the back of your hips. You're ready now. You're ready to go. Felt so good on the right side. Let's do it on the left side. I can't wait to get cracking. Here we are. So push down with the left heel. Lengthen the right leg. Both legs equally long. Draw your shoulders up towards your ears. Roll them back. Slide them down towards your hips. And as you do that, notice how now you're already beginning to tune into the core. You feel the belly and the ribcage pulling in to stabilize the midsection. Remember, it's a gentle embrace through the midsection. Still plenty of room for your breath. Now bring your gaze upwards. Look towards the corner. Relax your jaw. Use your thumbs on the back of your hips to pull the elbows in. Relax the jaw, relax the throat, soften the tongue. Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. 2 more breaths just like that. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Oh, so good. 1 more. Drop your eyes down. Looking straight ahead, feel your shoulders pull over top of your hips. Shoulders heavy, shoulders still sliding down towards your spine, feeling really open across the collarbones and the sternum now. I can't believe how much space there is in the front of your body. Now push with the left heel and slowly hinge forward. Feel the belly and ribcage pull in as the weight shifts forward. Let your gaze drop down to the top edge of your mat or slightly in front of your mat, coming far enough forward just to feel the beginnings of some intensity in the right leg. Could be in the hip, could be the back of the right knee. But maintain the connection to the earth with the left heel. Keep the whole sole of the left foot firmly connected to your yoga mat. Breathe. Try not to round through the shoulders. Keep the elbows pointing out side to side so the shoulder blades are still tucked in towards the spine. No rounding through the shoulders at all. Breathe. Press up. Feel yourself slowly coming up. Drop your eyes down to your right foot, right knee. Bend your right knee so it's pointing in the same direction as your right toes. You can still see all of your toes on your right foot. Bring your gaze straight ahead. Inhale, draw your shoulders up towards your ears. Roll them back. Slide them down. I can feel my thumbs on the back of my hips already beginning to push my hips forward. Left heel presses down. Bring your gaze upwards. Use your hands, your thumbs as a little leverage spot to pull the elbows back. Feel the hips pushing slightly forwards to feel a tiny beginning of a stretch in the front of the left hip. Keep the left heel pressed into the mat, the back of the left leg, as long as you possibly can. Doesn't need to be straight. Just feel the effort and the sensations. Feel how busy proper alignment and posture is keeping your brain. Notice how busy your breath is keeping your brain. Something that we do innately, all of a sudden now, as soon as we give it our focus, it's so rewarding. Now, bring your gaze ahead. Feel your shoulders stacking over top of your hips. Relax through the elbows. Step your left foot forward. Release your hands. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. As you exhale, sweep out and down. Let your fingers brush the mat as you bend your knees. Inhale, sweeping out and up. Exhale, forward and down. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling, sweeping forward and up. Exhale, out and down. Bending the knees, feeling your belly connect to your thighs. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, sweeping forward and down. Just feel the softness of your breath. Feels so good. So good to be in the moment, which is what meditation is. Being fully connected to what you are doing in the moment. Let's sweep the arms forward and up. As you exhale, sweep out and down. Bend your knees, bring your fingertips to the mat. Step your right foot back. A long step to the back of the mat. Land on the ball of your right big toe. Drop your right knee down. So if you need a little extra padding under your right knee, you can go ahead and reach for a towel or a blanket. We're going to be here just, the next sequence, we're going to be here for a little bit. So you're going to bring your hands one at a time onto your left thigh and just push up. Now to take the pressure off your right kneecap, if you uncurl your toes and rest the top of your right foot on the mat, it takes some pressure off your kneecap. Now you want your knee behind your hip. If you feel like your knee is under your hip, you'll need to wiggle your right foot a little farther back and then drop down. So here we are. Already here, yes, feeling a stretch on the front of your right thigh, right hip. Now take a breath. And as you exhale, just bring your gaze straight ahead. Find something to hold your gaze. That will also help steady you. Now take another breath. This time, think of dropping the left hip and sinking in just ever so slightly. Now use your hands on your left thigh to just push the shoulders back just a tiny bit. Feel how the stretch in the front of the right hip intensifies. So this is actually monkey lunge for our monkey mind. Sink in, breathe through the stretch, breathe through the intensity in the right hip, right thigh. Now bring yourself forward as you bring your right hand to the mat and then the left. Now swing your left foot back. So just wiggle your left foot out to the left and swing it back. Coming to table pose. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Lift your eyes, look towards the top edge of the mat. Take a breath. And as you exhale, roll your shoulders back. Feel your shoulder blades slide in towards your spine. Now fully relax and let go through the belly. Let go through the rib cage, especially with the breath in. Take one more breath right here. Now drop your eyes, look between your hands, feel the shift in the alignment of your vertebrae. Walk your knees wide, bring your big toes together, press back, hips to heels. Walk your hands forward. If you can, I want you to come down onto your forearms and elbows and bring your forehead to the mat. If your forehead doesn't come to the mat, stack your forearms, stack your hands, reach for your block. Make sure there's support under your forehead. Now feel, really zone in on the pressure point at the center of your forehead. Take a breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Relax your neck, relax your jaw, relax your tongue. 2 more breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Take your time with your breath. Just feel that pressure point in the center of your forehead like a magic button that just releases tension throughout the face, the cheeks, the jaw, the back of the neck. Bring yourself back up to table. Curl your toes under. Take a breath. And as you exhale, lift to downward dog. Engage through the fingers. Start at the hands. Create awareness there. Feel your connection. Fingers, palms of the hands, thumbs connected to the mat. Long, strong arms. Shoulders sliding towards your hips, not your ears. Sides of the rib cage equally long from your armpits to your hips. Feeling that little curve in the lower back as the tailbone reaches up to the corner behind you where the wall meets the ceiling. Back of the legs long as the heels reach down towards the mat. Just enough strength, just enough of a little hug, a little embrace through the belly and rib cage to feel strong and centered. And lift your heels, bend your knees, and just 1 foot at a time, walk your feet towards your hands. Let the whole sole of each foot with each step just connect to the mat as you make your way forward. Even if your hands need to come away from the mat, it doesn't matter. Focus on the feet here. A little bend in the back of the knees. Inhale, slide your hands up towards your knees, and as you exhale, dip back down again. Fingertips to the mat. Use the full length of your arms, the full reach of your fingertips, belly resting on your thighs, knees softly bent. As you inhale, lift the eyes, look forward, really lengthen and stretch through the vertebrae. As you exhale, fold over the thighs. Relax your neck. Feel the heaviness in your head just for a half a second until the next breath comes. As you inhale, lift the eyes, look forward. And as you exhale, just shift your weight into your feet. Inhale, sweeping the arms up and out. Exhale, sweeping forward and down. Inhaling, sweeping forward and up. Exhaling, sweeping out and down. Bending your knees, fingertips to the mat. Left foot goes to the back of the mat. Land on the ball of your left big toe. Want to wiggle your left foot back. Drop your left knee down. Knee behind your hip. Reach for that extra padding if you need to. And then slowly bringing your hands on top of your right thigh for support. Shoulders aligned with your hips. Take a breath. And as you exhale, right hip drops down. Feel your hips level out. If you need to, you can uncurl your toes on your left foot and let the top of your left foot rest on the mat to take pressure off your left knee. Now, using your hands on your right thigh, just push and feel your shoulders pulling back. Then slide your shoulder blades in towards your spine just a little bit more. Unclench the jaw. Bring the gaze to your focal point that's in front of you, that little drishti that you were watching earlier. Now feel the shoulders pulling back just enough to feel the stretch into the front of the left hip here in our monkey lunge. Breathe. Take one more breath right here. Now coming forward. Feel the tension release. Feel yourself soften. Feel yourself letting go of the work. Left hand comes down. Wiggle your right foot out to the right and swing it back as your right hand comes down to the mat. Coming to table pose. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Bring your gaze to the top edge of your mat. Relax through the belly, relax through the rib cage. Take a breath. And as you exhale, pull the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling and slide your shoulder blades in towards your spine. With your next breath in, really let go through the belly, through the rib cage. Let the back sway. Now drop your gaze, look down at your hands, the space right between your thumbs. Walk your knees wide, bring your big toes together. Sink your hips to your heels. Feel your belly and rib cage nestled between your thighs. Reach your hands forward. Now let's keep this active. So with the hands reaching towards the top of the mat, really try to creep your fingers as close as you can to the top edge of your mat without pulling the hips away from the heels. Keep the hips heavy. Now plant your hands, connect to the mat just like you do with downward dog. Fingertips pressing down. Palms of the hands completely connected to the mat, thumbs pressing down. Arms long. Now keep the hands in place, anchor the hands to the mat. Imagine there's some glue under there and your hands cannot move. Now focus on your shoulders. Think of pulling your shoulders down towards your hips, just your shoulder blades. At the same time, keeping the hips heavy. Now keep that. Keep the shoulders pulling away from your ears. Relax your neck and let your head come down towards the mat. If it dangles, if your forehead doesn't connect to the mat here, reach for your block. Put some support underneath your forehead. Keep the hands reaching forward. Reconnect to the mat if you reached for your block. Close your eyes. Feel the heavy spot on the forehead. We're going to take one more breath here with the arms active. Shoulders pulling towards your hips. Full reach of your arms. My arms are shaking. Now with your next breath out, relax the arms. Oh, just let go of the palms of the hands like the glue is magically released. Stack your hands if you need to, or if you want to. That's okay too. Now, if your forehead connects to the mat, I encourage you here to stack your hands and place your forehead on the back of your hands or reach for your block. Now really unhinge through the jaw. Relax through the back of the neck. Feel the weight in the center of the forehead. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Do that for 3 more breaths. Deliberately use your breath out to release tension through the back of the neck, from the base of the skull all the way down between the shoulders. Notice how much room there is for your breath when you release tension. Notice how free you feel when you release stress, anxiety, the tightness that comes as we work our way through the day. Press up. Legs straight out in front. Sitting tall. Spread your toes, anchor your weight at the back of your heels. Revisiting a stretch we did earlier, a little bit deeper this time. All right, now just checking in with the body. If you feel like your lower back is rounding and you're slouching backwards or falling backwards, go ahead and place a blanket or a block under your hips so you can lift yourself tall. The taller you are, the deeper your forward fold will be. So here we go. Toes spread, weight anchored at the back of the heels. Connect to the mat with the back of your legs, but keep the heels grounded. Toes pointing up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, sweep your arms up. Really lengthen from your hips to your fingertips. As you exhale, hinge forward. Bringing your hands to your knees, your shins, wherever they happen to land. Take a breath. And as you exhale, bow forward. Look beyond the top edge of your mat, bending at the elbows just enough to feel the subtle stretch in the lower back. Notice how you can go deeper now. Now take another breath. Keep the alignment of the vertebrae and just slowly drop your chin towards your chest, feeling the neck changing shape. But from your tailbone to the base of your neck, right between your shoulders, right there, everything has stayed the same. Now let your head feel heavy. And actively, just a little bit of a tension here on the shoulders, pull the shoulder blades in towards the spine. Take a breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Feel your head get heavier with the exhalation. One more time. Keep your forward fold now. Lift your eyes. Look between your toes. There we go. Now shift your hands to the floor, to the mat, to the outsides of your legs, really high on your fingertips, like you've got a delicious cupcake under the palm of your hand and you don't want to squash it. Take a breath. And as you exhale, sink your rib cage deeper towards your thighs. Take another breath in. Feel your belly, rib cage press into your thighs. As you exhale, pull your belly and rib cage away from your thighs and then sink deeper into the space left behind by your breath. keep your fingertips, keep using your arms here so that there's lots of space through the shoulders and you don't need to round through the shoulders. Re-engage through the shoulder blades. Gently, consciously, mindfully pull your shoulder blades in towards your spine. Take a breath. Keep the shoulder blades pulling in, and as you exhale, just sink into your forward fold. Focus on keeping the shoulder blades pulling in towards the spine while you just allow your head to feel heavy. Now as your forward fold deepens, the space in the front of your body gets smaller. So now bring your breath to the back of your body, your lower back, the back of your hips, the back of your rib cage. Mindfully expand through the back of the body to allow your breath to flow. Really use your focus and your awareness to direct your breath. One more deep, satisfying breath. Now coming out, one breath at a time. With the first breath, just pull your chin away from your chest until you feel like your ears are in line with your shoulders once again. Then use your arms, full length of your arms, full reach of your fingers to push into the mat. Feel your rib cage and belly pulling away from your thighs, but the weight is still shifted forward. Take another breath. Now draw the belly and the rib cage in. Create some strength through the core. Re-engage with the back of the legs, back of the heels. Spread your toes so your toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Now here we go. We're going to float the hands, sweep the hands towards your feet. Reach. Bring your gaze forward. Shoulders are in front of your hips here, so working with a little bit of core strength. Thumbs pointing up towards the ceiling. Just enough energy in the hands, your fingers are separated. Now bring your attention not only to your breath, but to those sneaky shoulder blades once again. Pull the shoulder blades in towards the spine. Feel the belly and ribcage pull in a little bit tighter, but find the balance between your strength and your breath, where you're strong enough to keep the shoulders forward, strong enough to feel the strength in your core, but soft enough to allow the breath to flow. Staying long, staying strong, staying soft, balanced, mindful. Now here we go. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms up, shift the weight back, feel your shoulders over top of your hips, and as you exhale, release the arms. Bend your knees, bring your toes to the top of the mat. Roll yourself all the way back. Lean back. Bring your arms out to the sides. Just let your arms reach out. Now stretch your left leg long. Keep your right knee bent, foot flat on the floor. Now just adjust your hips until you feel like there's no strain or stress on your lower back. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you so you feel really open through the front of your body. Now just wiggle your right foot beside your left leg so you can kind of feel your ankle brushing up against your left leg, inner left thigh, your left knee, wherever it happens to be. Spread your toes, both feet, so you can feel the weight resting on the back of your left heel, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Now spreading your toes on your right foot, you can feel your knees starting to wave out to the right and roll on to the outside edge of your right foot. So go with it. Keep the toes spread and let your right knee fall out to the right, but at the same time, keep the back of your left heel anchored to the mat. So we're coming into tree pose here, a much easier version. Lying down. Now just snuggle the sole of your right foot all the way up, right next to, connect to your inner left leg, wherever it happens to be, your calf, your thigh, your knee, your ankle. It's all good, it doesn't matter. Now focus on your left hip. With the right knee rolling out, the right hip rolls out. But you want to keep the left hip anchored and open. Arms wide. And as your arms reach out from side to side, just breathe that big. Close your eyes. And be a big, beautiful maple tree that's lost all its weight for winter. The leaves are gone, and all it has to do is stand tall. Spread the branches and take in all the air that surrounds you. Now spread your toes on your right foot and just bring your right knee back to center. Just pivot on the outside edge of your right foot. Bring your right foot, the sole of your right foot, all the way to the mat. Bend your left knee, left foot comes to the mat. And now stretch the right leg long. Spread your toes on your right foot. Feel the weight anchored at the back of your right heel, toes pointing up to the ceiling. Arms still out side to side, shoulder blades still pulled in towards your spine and tucked underneath you. Spread your toes on your left foot. Kind of walk your left foot, wiggle it in towards your right leg until you can feel the two connect. And then roll onto the outside edge of your left foot, letting your left knee fall out to the left. Snuggle the sole of your left foot right up to your right leg. Now focus on the right hip. Keep the right hip anchored. And let the left leg feel heavy. Close your eyes and let your breath flow. The breath flows in and around your whole body throughout your entire tree pose. Find the softness here. Notice how different tree pose feels here than it does when we do it as a standing balance. Feel the openness through the inner left thigh and the hips. Spread your toes on your left foot. Use the edge of your left foot to just bring your left knee back to center. Bend your right knee, bring your right foot to the mat. Take a breath. And as you exhale, reach for both legs, both knees, and just hug them in towards your chest. Really connect the lower back to the mat. And hugging your knees in here, really sink in, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip. Use the weight of your legs to really spread through the back of the body. Gently rock yourself from side to side. Massage out the lower back. And then stretch your legs out, one at a time. Coming into final relaxation. Arms at your sides, legs long, soft through the feet, the hips, hands, arms, shoulders, base of the skull. Go ahead and close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your breath. Just focus on breathing. That's all that means. Not necessarily controlling your breath, but noticing that you are breathing. And as your awareness connects more deeply to your breath and to your body, you feel tension releasing. Every once in a while, when you think that you've completely relaxed, you sink even deeper. And all of a sudden you think, oh wow, I really was holding on to a lot of tension. I wonder if I can relax even more, let go even more. So feel the letting go throughout your body. Visualize your muscles letting go of bones. Visualize the unraveling of tension from all the muscle fibers. With each exhalation, feel anxiety melting away. Feeling the tightness that comes with stress and holding on, dissolving. Because here on your yoga mat, here in your yoga space, the outside world disappears and your focus is completely on the inside. The storm within, take a moment here to calm it with your breath. Be deliberate with your intention. Be deliberate with your focus. Feel the mindfulness of your breath. And rest here in final relaxation for as long as you choose. In a breath or two, I'm going to begin to rise up, but I invite you to stay here. To come out, just take a long, deep breath in. And exhale out through the mouth. Feel your breath, your exhalation rippling throughout your entire body. Do that again. One more deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Rest in the stillness for a few more breaths, or begin to bring movement to your fingers and toes and your hands and feet. Bend your knees one at a time. Place your feet on the floor. Gently roll onto your right side, knowing that you can linger here on your right side if it feels good. Wait for your breath to tell you when it's time to rise up. Use your inhalation to press yourself up. And bring yourself into a seated position, sitting tall. Hands together at the heart, and eyes softly closed. Checking in once again with your breath, with your body, with your mind. Taking a moment to be grateful. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be loved. May all beings be at peace. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.